When my cousin Tara shared that Instagram story of her toasting with champagne on a flight to Paris, something didn't sit right with me. At first, I couldn't figure out why, but then I spotted her fancy designer bag in the next photo, and it hit me like a punch to the gut. That was the same day I realized money had been taken from my account. Everything that's happened over the past 2 days has left me feeling totally overwhelmed. Maybe writing it all out will help me make sense of things and figure out what to do next. My son Jace is 7 years old and needs surgery to fix his leg. He was born with a condition that makes it hard for him to walk. It's not something that puts his life in danger, but it affects pretty much everything he does. The doctors say this surgery will let him walk, run, and play like other kids his age. For the past 2 years, I've been saving up for it, working extra shifts, weekends, even holidays, all to put money into the surgery fund. I managed to save $12,000. It might not sound like a huge amount, but when you're a single mom working at a factory, it feels like a mountain of money. I kept it in a separate savings account, watching it grow bit by bit. Jason and I would sometimes check the balance together, dreaming about all the things he'd be able to do after the surgery. Tara had been staying with my sister Maya for the past 3 months after she lost her job. She was always at our place, hanging out with Jace, bringing him little gifts. Looking back now, I realize I should have noticed something was off. She kept asking questions about when the surgery was scheduled, how I was paying for it, and even which account I was using to save the money. At the time, I thought she was just being caring and supportive. Then last Thursday, I checked my account during my lunch break to move some money around. That's when I saw it. The surgery fund was empty, completely wiped out. I called the bank right away, and they told me there had been several small transfers to another account over the past week. They must have thought I wouldn't notice if they took it little by little. I felt like I'd been kicked in the stomach. I tried calling Tara. No answer. I texted her. Nothing. And then her Instagram stories started showing up. First, she was at the airport, then sipping champagne on a plane, and later posing in front of the Eiffel Tower. It was like she wasn't even trying to hide what she'd done. I called Maya, and she was just as shocked as I was. She told me Tara had mentioned going to Paris, but claimed she'd been saving up for it. Maya said, I had no idea. She used my Wi-Fi and my laptop sometimes. I'm so sorry. Jace noticed something was wrong and asked me why I looked so upset. How do you explain to a 7-year-old that someone he trusted stole the money that was supposed to help him walk and play like other kids? He even showed me the Eiffel Tower keychain Tara had given him last week. Look, Dad, just like where cousin Tara is now, he said. That keychain, probably bought with the money I'd saved for his surgery. This morning, I finally got a hold of Tara on WhatsApp. Her profile picture was her sitting at some cafe holding a croissant. When I confronted her about the money, her response made me furious. She said, oh, come on, Ryan, you're being dramatic. It's not like it's emergency surgery. He'll be fine. Kids heal fast. Besides, I really needed this trip. Do you know how depressing it is being unemployed? I'll pay you back. Eventually. Like my son's childhood is supposed to just wait around for her to decide when she feels like doing the right thing. I've been keeping track of everything. The bank transfers, the exact times they happened, and all the conversations I've had with Tara. I'm not letting her get away with this. She seems to think that because we're family, she can just take whatever she wants, and there won't be any consequences. Well, she's about to find out how wrong she is. Maya's been helping me figure out what to do next. The bank is looking into the transfers, but they said it might be tricky because Tara had access to my Wi-Fi and devices when she was staying with me. She planned this carefully, making it look like the transfers came from me. The surgery was supposed to happen next month, but now I have to call and cancel it. The thought of telling Jace makes me feel awful. He's been counting down the days on his calendar, excited about being able to play soccer with his friends after he recovers. I'm not asking for advice about whether to press charges or go to the police. I've already made up my mind. I'm going tomorrow morning. What I'm struggling with is how to tell my son that his surgery isn't happening anytime soon. How do I explain to him that someone he loves and trusts chose a vacation over his chance to walk and run like other kids? Meanwhile, Tara's still posting stories from Paris like nothing's wrong. Pictures of designer stores, fancy meals, and all the tourist spots. Every post tags her location, and every single one was paid for with the money I saved for Jace's surgery. She even posted a photo of a charity donation box at Notre Dame with the caption, "Feeling blessed, giving back." I've muted her on all my social media, but Maya keeps sending me screenshots. You need to document everything, she says, and she's right. Every post is basically proof of where Jace's surgery money went. The hardest part is that some of our family members are already trying to make excuses for her. They say she's going through a hard time, they say. She'll pay it back eventually. Like that makes it okay. Like my son's future is just something that can be put on hold because Tara's having a hard time. I'm not backing down. Not this time. Jace deserves better than eventually. He deserves a chance to live his life without waiting for someone else to do the right thing. Update. Tara just shared another story. She's at some rooftop bar holding up a glass of wine with the caption, "Living my best life. Sorry, not sorry." Honestly, it's fine. Let her keep posting. Let her keep showing the world exactly who she is. Every post is just more proof of what she's done. Meanwhile, I'll be at the police station first thing tomorrow. Update 2. First off, thank you to everyone who reached out with support after my last post. A lot has happened in the past week, and honestly, none of it has gone the way I expected. I thought filing a police report would be the toughest part, but it turns out that was just the start. The police were straightforward with me. Since Tara had access to my Wi-Fi and devices while she was staying at my place, they're treating this as a civil matter rather than a criminal one. They took my statement and all the documentation I had, but they told me I'd likely need to take this to small claims court. It wasn't exactly the response I was hoping for, but at least everything's officially on record now. Meanwhile, Tara's Paris trip keeps playing out on social media like some kind of twisted reality show. Yesterday, she posted a haul video showing off 3 luxury handbags, new shoes, and what she called her Paris wardrobe upgrade. She casually mentioned how much she spent, and the total would have covered Jace's surgery and his recovery therapy. She even tagged the stores and added, "Living my dreams." It's just unbelievable. But here's where things get interesting. Remember my sister Maya? She's been doing some digging and found out Tara's been telling different stories to different family members. To our aunts, she claimed I offered to help fund her fresh start. To our cousins, she's saying the money was a loan we agreed on. And to her parents, she's insisting I was being generous because she's family. The stories keep changing, but they all have one thing in common. Somehow, I'm the bad guy for wanting the money back. It's frustrating, but at least more people are starting to see through her lie. Tara's parents called me last night. They offered to help with some of the money to keep peace in the family. Their idea of help? $2,000, paid in installments over 6 months, because apparently that's a fair solution when their daughter stole $12,000 meant for her cousin's disabled child. I told them I'd rather see them in court. The silence on their end said everything. Jace has been asking questions. He's a smart kid. He noticed I took down the calendar where we were counting down to his surgery date. I tried explaining that we need to wait a little longer, but he just looked at me with those big eyes and asked, "Is it because cousin Tara needed the money more than me?" 7 years old, and he's already learning some hard lessons about family. This morning, I got a text from Tara. "Look, I get you're mad, but you're making this bigger than it needs to be. I'm not stealing, I'm borrowing. Besides, what's the rush? It's not like Jace is dying or anything. Kids are resilient. Resilient. Like that makes it okay." Maya's been amazing through all this. She's helped me document everything and even set up a spreadsheet tracking every purchase Tara's been flaunting on social media. Evidence, she calls it, and she's right. Tara's basically building our case for us with every post and story. The family's completely divided now. Half of them think I should cut Tara some slack because she's going through a phase. The other half are upset but don't want to get involved. Maya's the only one who's openly standing by me. She even told our aunt, a phase is getting a bad haircut or dating a drummer, not stealing a child's surgery money. Today, I had to make some really hard decisions. First, I called to cancel Jace's surgery reservation. The hospital put us back on the waiting list, but we lost our original spot. Then I reached out to my bank again. They're still looking into the unauthorized transfers, but at least they've flagged them. Small wins, I guess. Tara actually answered one of my calls today. Want to know her brilliant idea? She suggested I start a GoFundMe or something because she's not in a position to pay right now. When I brought up her designer shopping spree that she's been flaunting online, she had the nerve to say, "That's different. I needed those things for my image. How else am I supposed to network for a new job?" But the real kicker came this evening. Tara posted a long Instagram story about toxic family members and learning to put yourself first. She even threw in some quotes about negative energy and letting go of people who don't support your growth. The irony would almost be funny if it wasn't so maddening. I'm meeting with a lawyer next week. Maya found someone who offers free initial consultations. Of course, some family members are already calling me dramatic for bringing lawyers into family business. But you know what? Today, I watched Jace try to keep up with his friends at the park, limping but determined not to fall behind. That's all the motivation I need to keep fighting for him. Update 3. Here's the latest. Tara's back from Paris, and instead of keeping a low profile, she's throwing a Parisian-themed dinner party to share her travel experiences. She even had the audacity to invite me and Jace. The invitation text said, "Let's put all this drama behind us. Jace would love to see the presents I got him." Presents, like some cheap souvenirs, could make up for stealing the money meant for his surgery. I've got the lawyer meeting on Tuesday. Tara doesn't know about it yet, but she's about to find out that actions have consequences, family or not. If she thinks I'm overreacting, fine. Let's see how she feels when she gets served with court papers right in the middle of her little Paris-themed party. Update 4. Sometimes karma needs a little nudge. After my last update, things got worse before they got better, but I finally found a way to make Tara face the consequences of her actions. I didn't go to her Parisian dinner party, but Maya did. She recorded everything on her phone, not secretly, just openly Instagram storying like everyone else there. Tara was in full performance mode, showing off her Paris photos on her iPad and bragging about every purchase. Then she got to a video that made my blood boil. She was at some cafe holding up her glass to the camera. Shout out to my cousin Ryan's savings account for making this trip possible. Sorry, not sorry. Her friends were laughing in the background. She actually recorded herself admitting to stealing the money, thinking it was hilarious. Maya sent me the video immediately. Tara noticed and and started screaming at her to delete it. It was a joke. You're ruining the party. The whole thing turned into chaos, with Tara's parents trying to calm everyone down, while Tara kept yelling about family betrayal. Here's where it gets interesting. Remember how Tara's been job hunting? Turns out she actually landed a position at a local company starting next week. Well, not anymore. Maya found the job posting online. It was for a financial coordinator position, handling company money. The job description specifically mentioned high ethical standards and handling confidential financial information. I sent the hiring manager a straightforward email with links to Tara's public social media posts about her Paris trip. I kept it simple. Here's your future financial coordinator bragging about stealing $12,000 from a child's surgery fund. No emotional appeals, no drama, just her own words and actions. Tara lost the job offer within hours. That night, she showed up at my house, pounding on the door. How dare you? You ruined my career. I was going to pay you back with that job. Jace was scared by all the yelling, and I had to call the police to get her to leave. They recognized her from my earlier report about the theft. Tara's parents finally saw the video from the party, and their attitude shifted completely. Instead of defending her, they're now insisting she sell her designer bags and Paris wardrobe to start paying back the money. Tara's response? She locked herself in her old room at their house and started posting Instagram stories about being attacked by toxic family members and how no one understands mental health struggles. The real turning point came during a family dinner at our grandparents' house. Tara tried to play the victim again, but this time was different. Our grandfather, who usually stays out of family drama, spoke up. He'd been quietly watching her social media posts all along, seeing her spend money that was meant for his great-grandson's surgery. You bought 3 designer bags while Jace can barely walk properly, he said. The room fell silent. Shame on you. Tara started crying, but not her usual dramatic tears. For the first time, she looked genuinely shaken. Nobody was buying her excuses anymore. Her own parents backed me up when I mentioned the civil court case. Then she tried one last desperate plea. But I'm family. How could you do this to family? My response was simple. Jace's family too. You chose handbags over his ability to walk. The fallout was immediate and intense. Tara's mom went through her recent purchases and started listing them on resale sites. Her dad called my lawyer to work out a repayment plan. Tara's still fighting it, but now she's completely isolated. No more family members enabling her, no more excuses. The designer bags are being sold, and the Paris wardrobe is going too. Tara's parents are making her move back home and taking control of her finances until everything's paid back. They even discovered she has other debts. Apparently, the Paris trip wasn't the only reckless spending she'd been hiding. Maya's been helping list Tara's items online. Every time Tara sees another item sold, she starts a new round of drama. Yesterday, she tried claiming some of the items were gifts that we had no right to sell. Her mom shut that down quickly. Gifts bought with stolen money aren't gifts. The money is starting to come back, slowly. It's not enough for Jace's surgery yet, but it's progress. Tara's dad set up a direct deposit from their account to mine for monthly payments until everything's repaid. Tara tried to cancel it, but her parents aren't giving her access to any accounts anymore. The family dynamic has completely shifted. Tara's not getting invited to family gatherings anymore. Her cousins have unfollowed her on social media. Even her closest friends are distancing themselves after seeing how she's handled all of this. Last night, Tara posted a new story. Sometimes hitting rock bottom makes you realize who you really are. Attached was a screenshot of her deleted Paris posts. Maybe reality's finally sinking in. Or maybe not. I just got a text from her. Hope you're happy. My life is ruined, and it's all your fault. No, Tara. You did this to yourself, and now everyone knows it. The court date is still set for next month, but her parents are pushing her to settle before then. Either way, Jace is getting his surgery money back. It's just a matter of time. Final update. I didn't expect to be writing another update, but after yesterday's events, I feel like I need to share what happened. Karma finally caught up with Tara in the most unexpected way. It started with Jace's rescheduled surgery consultation. Tara's parents have been making the monthly repayments as promised, and we finally had enough for the down payment. As I was sitting in the waiting room filling out paperwork, my phone started blowing up with messages. Tara had shown up at her parents' house in hysterics. She'd just been rejected from another job. Apparently, her social media history keeps coming back to haunt her. Every time someone Googles her name, they find her Paris posts bragging about using borrowed money. The internet never forgets. Instead of taking responsibility, she stormed into their house, demanding they fix it. Her mom refused. That's when Tara lost it. She started grabbing her mom's designer bags, screaming that if they were going to sell her things, she'd sell theirs too. Her dad recorded the whole meltdown on his phone, not to shame her, but because he's learned to document everything now. In the video, you can hear Tara screaming, "You chose Ryan over me, your own daughter. I hope you're happy with your new favorite child." Her mom's response was perfect. "No, we chose what's right over what's wrong. We failed you by never teaching you the difference." That's when Tara completely lost it. She started throwing things, grabbed her mom's phone, and tried deleting the video, but it was already backed up to the cloud. In her rage, she picked up a vase, a family heirloom from our great-grandmother, and smashed smashed it against the wall. The neighbors called the police after hearing all the noise. When the officers arrived, Tara tried telling them her parents were abusing her by selling her belongings. The officers, who remembered her from the previous incidents at my house, weren't buying it. Her parents didn't press charges, but they did something that hit Tara even harder. They cut her off completely. No more paying her phone bill, no more emergency credit card, no more living in their house. They told her she needed professional help, and they'd support that, but nothing else until she takes responsibility. Tara's response? She went nuclear on social media. She started posting exposed stories about everyone in the family. Most were obviously fake. She claimed Maya had stolen from stores. Never happened. That I was misusing Jace's surgery money for gambling. Completely false. And that her parents had abused her growing up. They spoiled her, if anything. Nobody believed her. Her followers had watched her Paris shopping spree, seen her brag about using borrowed money, and witnessed her steady meltdown over the past few months. The comments were brutal. Wasn't this the girl who stole her disabled cousin's surgery money? Still playing victim after stealing from a child? She tried deleting the comments, but they kept coming. Finally, she posted a tearful video claiming she was being cyberbullied and needed to take a break for her mental health. 10 minutes later, she was posting on her backup account, asking if anyone had a spare room she could crash in. Nobody offered. It's been a wild ride, but it feels like things are finally settling. Tara's parents are sticking to their decision, and the rest of the family is done enabling her. Jace's surgery is back on track, and he's been counting down the days again. As for Tara, she's learning the hard way that actions have consequences, and that no amount of social media drama can rewrite the truth. Here's the real karma, though. Remember that financial coordinator position Tara lost? The company reposted the job, and guess who got it? Maya. She started last week. When Tara found out, she showed up at the office, causing such a scene that security had to escort her out. Now she has a trespassing warning to go along with everything else. The family gathered for dinner last night. Without Tara, her parents brought the final check to cover the remaining surgery money. As we were sitting there, Tara started spam calling everyone, switching between threats and tearful apologies. Nobody picked up. Her last message to me read, "I hope you're happy. You've turned everyone against me. I'll never forgive you for this." I didn't respond. I was too busy helping Jace pack his overnight bag for the hospital. His surgery is scheduled for tomorrow morning. Tara's mom pulled me aside before leaving. She was crying, but not from sadness. "Thank you," she said, "for having the courage to stand up to her. We should have done it years ago." This morning, something totally unexpected happened. A package showed up at my door. Inside was an envelope with $2,000 in cash and a handwritten note that said, "Dear Ryan and Jace, this is all the money I have left. I sold my laptop and some other stuff to get it. I'm sorry it's not more. I'm sorry for everything. I know saying sorry isn't enough, but it's all I can do right now. Tara." I put the money into Jace's recovery fund. He's going to need physical therapy after his surgery, so every little bit helps. As for Tara, last I heard she's staying at a youth hostel, looking for jobs under a different name, and finally starting therapy. Her parents are holding firm on their boundaries. They'll pay for her counseling, but that's it until she shows she's really changing. Jace's surgery is in 12 hours. He's a little nervous, but mostly excited. This morning, he said something that really hit me. "Dad, when I can run again, I'm going to run so fast that all the bad stuff won't be able to catch up to us. Run fast, kiddo. You've definitely earned it. This will be my last update. Thanks to everyone who's been there for us through all of this. Sometimes standing up to family is the hardest thing to do, but it's also the most important."